And I would just say to any of you out there, no matter how far you get removed from the guys doing work on the ground, remember that they're doing something different than you, and just have a little humility and a little bass about you when you have those guys come into the chow hall, or you see them, or they smell to you, because their job is a bit different.
Realize that the chow hall exists for those guys.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, at its root level. Other than the 5-day war, in that entire rest of the deployment, is there one gunfight that stands out as being the most kind of spectacular from an intensity standpoint that you can share it in a high detail level?
Yeah, I could pick one. Okay, so again, one of the leading up to the 5-day war, why we would go up to that spot, we had several instances of really getting after it, and at that time, near like a lot of the canals, they had a lot of foliage, a lot of green. It's not, you don't just see desert, right? So you have to break that up a bit, and so we did. We would get in there, we would get close to the foliage, we'd get all the way into the canal systems and such, but you would just feel it coming about you. After a while, you just know when you're going to get hit. You can tell by the atmospherics, around you. And I remember one day we were going up there, and I kind of popped out, and their roads are real small, real skinny in that area, like moped or 3-wheeler skinny, canals on both sides. And we were moving through this whole area just trying to get a scope on it. It was when we first kind of got into that area, once we were in 5 Points. It's my first couple of times going northeast and trying to figure out what was going on. And because of the density of the foliage, your contact could be a whole lot closer then, right? And that's what happened. We came up to it. I was kind of popping the road and looking down whatever direction that was to my left, and I could see guys on phones like this, and just, in the eyes, like they're watching and reporting on me. And it's like, all right, hey, everybody stay frosty. These guys are right down here. And at the time, we weren't allowed to shoot them for that. Later, it became ROE change that if you had somebody actively spotting you or passively spotting you, could drop them. And at that time, it wasn't that way, so I remember kind of looking out. I called Grimes up. He's got a saw gut with him, but he's a team leader at that point. And I say, make your way across, set your saw up right on these guys, and as soon as this opens up, I want you to cut them in half. And he's like, roger that. So he runs across, and I kind of expected somebody to shoot at him when he ran across. And I told him that. He gets across, scurries up, he gets the saw on the tall part of the bipods, and he's just aimed in on these guys. I look back at my team leader Charette, and I said, hey, when this goes down, I want 203s raining in that courtyard, because he could see it too. He's like, I got you. And so we got a couple 203s up there, got saw on the ground, and I called up the command like, hey, this is about to go down, and we had on-call targets up here. Hey, get ready to spin these Alpha Bravo, whatever fucking target it was, up. So everybody's just kind of waiting on it, and it was like 2-3 people cross the road before it fucking opens up. And as soon as it opens up, boom, 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 40 mics are coming in. He's fucking wrecked those guys on the road that were kind of peeking and popping. And then that firefight went on for, a little while. I don't know hours wise, maybe a couple, but it was cat and mouse down this canal system with them. And it was closer because of the foliage, right? And we had the Mark 34, I believe. It's a 40 mic six shooter, essentially. We had guys carrying those, so we were able to really put out some explosives over on them, and then call in some 60s. We always travel with 60s in the handheld traditional mode. So if we had a patrol base out there and we're leaving that patrol base, we had 60s at the patrol base that could come right over top of us.
You're talking about Hilo 60s?
No, 60 millimeter mortars.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah. We'd have a 60 crew wherever we were at that would set up and then just handheld dump some HE to us.
Do you know ballpark what the maximum effective range is of those as far as
3 clicks maybe?
Okay.
Something like that.
So they can stay far enough away to where they're out of it, but you can call them in pretty quick.
Yeah. One thing to note on that, and this is kind of the tail end of this story, as we fight with this group, we have another squad that's kind of like come out to help canalize that group and put them down. We run a little low on ammo. We've been out 4.5 hours. They start to get a handle on the situation, so we RTB to the patrol base. Now we're at the patrol base, and they're fucking them up. JT squad, they're up there doing work, kind of finishing our work. And so we have the 60s there. And so a guy is squirting out of that fight, an enemy soldier squirting out of that fight with an 82 millimeter mortar system on the back of a moped. And as he's squirting out, we see it, and this road is long, and you can only go so fast on a moped, right? And our 60 millimeter guys set this up in the handheld. They used a machine gunner's arm like this over the courtyard wall as their aiming stake. I shit you not, and another Marine from this far corner of the courtyard was walking the same speed as the guy was traveling.
Holy shit.
And so he took those two things, he calculated his flight time, boom, and the guy disappeared in a plume.
Oh, shit.
I talk about it in the book in a little more detail, but the best mortar shot I've ever seen.
So you got Kentucky windage and you got Marjah windage.
Yeah, no,
right?
that's it. And just a lot of luck, I think.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah,
That's such ingenuity. I love it.